Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So today is a rainy, miserable Sunday afternoon. So what I thought I would do is sit on my big ugly couch and let you know of my recent sort of favourites and fails of the last few months. So the first beauty product that I want to talk to you about is this. This is the Tropic Sunday Facial SPF. This is an SPF of 50 and it's really good sitting under makeup and everything like that. I use this every day, and I think it's a fantastic sun cream. Tropic is a really great brand. All their products are cruelty free, they're vegan, they also have the logo for protecting land and sea, so they try and use sort of safe products that are not going to harm the environment. I really like a lot of the things that they sort of stand for. So I want to integrate a bit more Tropic products into my routine. This one's nearly finished. I've almost gone through the entire tube and I'm gonna have to get another one. There's a few other things from Tropic I want to try, and I think they have a deal where if you send back 5 of their empties, you get a free gift, or is it a free one of these? So this one is going to go into my pile, and I'm hopefully going to gather up a few empties to send back to them. But can't recommend this sun cream enough. It's so good. So another product that I've been loving recently is this. This is the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm. So I don't think this product really needs much of an introduction. Everybody raves about these. They're so lovely. The formula is amazing. I really enjoy it. I wear this pretty much anytime I have anything on my lips. It's the one I've got in Fast Lane, and it's this sort of pinky colour. It goes on my lips near enough sheer. I mean, I've got quite pigmented lips anyway, but this just looks like a clear balm on my lips really. But I really enjoy it. It's such a nice moisturising formula and great little packaging. I love it. I can't recommend this one enough. I really like it. I would like to find a version of this from a brand that is cruelty free, so I'm going to be on the hunt for that. Any recommendations, let me know. I'm just very recently trying to swap over things to more cruelty free and environmentally friendly brands. So if anyone's got any recommendations for a similar formula to this but from a brand like that, then please let me know. Another makeup favourite is one I did not expect to be featuring in the favourites section of this video. So I got a couple of orders in, and now this is the mini version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel. It's in soft brown. I bought this literally to bump up the bump up the price of the order so that I could get free delivery. No shame, that's literally all I bought it for. And I'd heard a lot of people raving about it and I'd never tried it, so I thought, hey, good opportunity to give it a go, I'll snag this little mini. So the first few times I used this, I hated it, and I hated it with passion. I guess I used too much, my brows were enormous, I looked like a grizzly bear, it just was not cute, was not a fan of this at all. And then for a while I went back to my old routine. But I decided to persevere and try again. And if you scrape off the majority of the product and sparingly add it to your eyebrows, it looks great. It's what I've got on my eyebrows today. Now that I've mastered the technique, it is super quick. I use it every day and absolutely love it. I would probably end up buying a full size of this, I won't lie. I really like it. So people who've tried this and maybe like me didn't really know what they were doing because they've only ever used clear gels in the past, don't be put off if your original results make you look horrific. Less is more with this product. Only put on the tiniest bit and that works for me. My brows are quite sparse, so they're not the thickest, and they tend to kind of grow very spread out. So I don't like catching lots of the little hairs with this because it makes me look like I've got brows the entire width of my eyelid. But if I've got them properly plucked like they should be, it's actually not too bad. But no, this has become a favourite and definitely going to be a repurchase in future. Totally sold on this. So another product that I've been loving recently was from kind of a spur of the moment cult beauty order. This is the Milani Soft and Sultry palette. I bought it kind of very quickly when it came back into stock as I heard it was being discontinued, and I was like, no, I have to own this. I have to get it before I can't get it anymore. So this palette, I have used it pretty much non-stop since I got it. So this is another palette that doesn't need an introduction. It's a gorgeous palette. It's kind of got cool tone neutrals and a few shimmer shades, lights, darks, a bit of everything. Like, I love this palette so much. I've used it non-stop. Quality's amazing, and I can't for the life of me figure out why they're getting rid of this, because this is just one of those palettes that is just perfection. I don't get why this is being discontinued, but I've managed to snap it up before it's gone, and if anyone else has the opportunity to do so and hasn't, you know, been super late to the game like me, pick this up. It's such a lovely palette, and it's been a definite favourite this month. So I was going to save the fails for the end, but I've got one beauty fail, so I'm just going to talk about that just now. So my one beauty fail this month is not too much of a fail. It was this blush from e.l.f. Now, the reason I say it's not too much of a fail is because I got this for free when I had an order that was over like 25 quid or something, so I got a free gift. And it's not anything to do with the quality. It's a nice blush that I can't open. There we go. My issue is purely with the shade. Now, on camera, this looks a bit lighter than when it does in person. So in person, it's a bit more reddy toned, but I feel like on the camera it looks a lot more pinky, which is what I kind of thought it was going to be. It's in the shade Blushing Rose, and like I say, the quality of it is nothing to criticise. It's fine. It blends out quite nicely, and it's got nice little packaging with a little mirror. A little bit hard to get into, I must admit. I'm always kind of floundering and trying to get into this thing, but yeah, I really just don't like it based on the shade. It's just a bit too red, but I popped this on and I just have these bright red cheeks that make me look like Coco the Clown. So this will be being passed on out of my collection, that's for sure. I've tried putting it on very, very sparingly, and I can get away with wearing it. I have worn it out a few times with just the tiniest hint of product, but I don't have a lot of products in my collection, and I don't see the point keeping one that's not easy to use. And this is just not easy to use for me. So easy to go over the top with it. So I'll be getting rid of this one. But not a huge loss. I didn't waste any money on it. So hey ho. But like I say, this one will be going away soon. So the next topic in my favourites I'm going to include is TV shows that I've been loving. So like everyone else at the moment, me and the boyfriend have been catching up on all the programmes we want to watch on Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these subscription services that everyone's going to be using quite a lot at the minute, given that we're all at home. So a couple of the programmes that we've been watching recently and loving are one on Amazon Prime, which is The Rookie. Now this one, my boyfriend really wanted to watch. He's a big Nathan Fillion fan. I must admit, I love Nathan Fillion too. And so we started to watch this, and I think only the first season is on Amazon Prime at the minute. Hopefully there'll be another season soon. So in this one, it's Nathan Fillion, who was in Firefly, Castle, you know, he was in Buffy. He's a great actor, really funny. So he is the main character, and he gets caught up in a bank robbery, and he's going through a bit of a low period in his life. His marriage is split up, his son's off to uni, and he's just a bit lost, really. So he gets caught up in this robbery, and makes him realise that his calling in life is to be a cop. So he's in his 40s, and he decides to go and train to be a policeman, and it's just, as you can imagine, it's super funny. He's the oldest trainee cop going, the oldest rookie, and so you watch him kind of going on his training exercises with his like supporting officer and things like that, and you know, it's a mix of him being like super good at it, because he does have a lot of skills that make him good at this job, but also he's a bit daft sometimes, so he gets caught up in some silly situations as well. But oh, such a good show. If you like Nathan Fillion and the shows that he's in, it's very, like, you know, it's a bit like him in Castle, you know, that kind of stuff. It's really good. I definitely recommend checking that one out. It was just one of those feel-good kind of shows. Really liked it. It has some serious moments as well. I definitely shed a tear or two at a few moments, but really good show. Brought a smile to my face, so you gotta go check that one out. And another one is not as new as that. It's one that was out a few years ago. We've been watching Teen Wolf on Netflix. So I started watching this show years ago, got a couple of seasons in and forgot about it. I do that kind of thing all the time. It doesn't actually show how much I like the program. And then I restarted watching it a few years later, as a pal of mine was watching it. And I was like, oh, well, buddy, watch it. We'll go through it together. And I'm rubbish. they binge watch things really, really fast, and I couldn't keep up. So I ended up not finishing it again. This happened with a different friend from work, and she started to watch it. But everyone else manages to binge watch things way faster than I do. I'm always out and about. I've got my job, got the horse, got loads of other things to do, and I only ever have time to watch 1 or 2 episodes in an evening. So I always fall behind whenever I'm buddy watching things with people. So it always kind of put me off. Then they were so many seasons ahead of me, and then I just kind of gave up. So there's another friend of mine who she got me to watch Gossip Girl at least 2 years ago. It could be coming up 3, and she finished watching all the seasons in about 3 or 4 months. I still have 3 or 4 episodes to go. I will finish it. I'm determined to finish it. I'm so close. But I just don't binge watch things really that much. I kind of, I get bored just watching the same thing over again. So, I'm determined it will not go into the pile of series that I've not finished, because there's so many of those. To name a few, I could say Once Upon a Time and House, and what other series have I started and not watched? Oh, I don't know. There's so many. There's a pile of shame, rather like a TBR. There's just like a pile of shame that I've not actually got round to finishing, and probably never will. But good intentions are there. So Teen Wolf definitely ended up on that pile of shame. And then during lockdown, I started to watch it again. Just sort of started lying on the couch watching it, and my boyfriend was like, oh, that's kind of looks quite good, that's kind of like Buffy, we're kind of into that kind of stuff, and so we ended up watching it together, and having someone else watch it with me, but can only do it when I'm ready to watch it, that's the way to go. So we've got a few episodes left. I have an itchy nose. We have a few episodes left to go, but I'm actually going to finish it this time, and I really like it. It's so weird. It's one of those programs. It's not like amazing TV, it's set in a school where there's a teen who gets turned into a werewolf, and he's basically learning how to get control of his new lifestyle, and meeting other various beasts of supernatural origin. Very Buffy-esque, that kind of humor, that kind of stuff. I really liked it. I thought it was really good fun, and I will finish it, which is ace, but it's definitely worthy of being in the favourites, because we've been watching this non-stop, and we were as close to binging as I get to binging, to be fair. Other thing that I spend a lot of my time doing is reading. As you'll maybe know, I have a bit of a booktube side to this channel. I've got a couple of videos, I will link them up in the cards, where I talk about my kind of feelings on books I've been reading and things like that. So there's a couple of the series that I've been enjoying reading recently. Both are rereads for me, actually. It's crazy, I've got so much unread books on my shelves. A massive TBR, and I go back to reading things I've read before. But that's just me all over. So one of the series that I've been listening to, again with the boyfriend, we've both been listening to these audiobooks, is the Maeve Kerrigan series. They are written by Jane Casey. I'll put up a couple of images of the books on screen, because I've been listening to those as audiobooks, so I can't hold them up to show you. But these are really good books. They're following a DC, so that's a detective constable in the Metropolitan Police, and her, basically it's a kind of procedural police kind of book and book series, and so you follow her on her crime. She's on a murder squad, so you follow her trying to solve murders that she's coming across, and you get to see a bit into her personal life, and she's kind of one of those characters that she's so smart and you like her for so many reasons, but then sometimes she's so frustrating as well. So it's just such a great series. The characters are amazing, the humour is hilarious, and the plots are really well thought out. So big shout out for those books, highly recommend. And then another book series that I've been rereading, I'm going to hold up a couple of them here. There's loads of of these. So this is the Darkhunter series by Sherrilyn Kenyon. I read these years ago when I was in my sort of late teens, early 20s, and I'm rereading them again just because, well, for the hell of it, really. Just really fancied it. And yeah, so these books are sort of paranormal romance. They're following immortal warriors. They've sold their soul for an act of vengeance, and now they are enslaved to the goddess Artemis, and they essentially have to protect humanity from another race that was created by Artemis's brother Apollo, and have been cursed. So they now prey on people, and they prey on humans. So these warriors are they're tasked with protecting humans now that they've completed their vengeance that they swore they sold their soul for. So there's loads of these books. I'm on this one at the minute. And this is one set in, I think, partially Alaska, and it's following one of the most vicious of these Darkhunter warriors. So the reason he was stuck in the arse end of nowhere, basically, is because they don't think he can be trusted, because he's a bit messed up. He was a slave in his human life, and he's just not the best at, controlling himself. So this one follows him. These are really good books. They're very, again, Buffy-esque in their humour. I'm sure I read something that said that it says it on this book. Here we go. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Sex in the City, and I think that's kind of like sums these books up. They're funny. They're kind of got a lot of leanings, obviously, into Greek and Roman myths, which I really love. But they're kind of hilarious and very addicting. So shout out to this series as well. I've been enjoying that so much recently. So I do have a bookish fail though, so I'll pop a picture of the one I'm going to speak about up in the screen somewhere. This one was something I read as an audiobook, and this was called Inborn by Thomas Enger. I speak about it quite in detail in my recent reads. I will pop that up there for you to have a wee look at if you're interested. But this book was a total snore for me. It's similar to the Maeve Kerrigans in the fact that it's kind of like a police procedural, and it was about a murder and stuff. It's basically the complete opposite in what makes the Maeve Kerrigan one so good. This one lacked. The characters were dull, and they didn't engage my interest at all. I didn't give a crap about the people that died. I didn't care who was the killer. I kind of figured it out before the end, but I wasn't even bothered. Even in the video that I talk about this in, I think you can see my boredom even mentioning it. I just not for me. Not a book that I would recommend. So that was my definite bookish fail from recently. It's just something that I found so boring. And it took me a long time to finish, but I'm glad I'm done now. I can pop that to the side. But that is probably the only bookish fail. Obviously, with lockdown, there's not much places that we can go at the minute, so suggesting places to visit is probably not a huge thing we can do. But one thing I have been doing, while in Aberdeen, things have opened up again slightly. So obviously things are allowed to be open, restaurants and things are allowed to be open at this point. And a place that I've been going to a lot, it's not a restaurant, it's an organic farm in Aberdeenshire, and I've gone here so many times. So it has like a vending machine. You can fill up for milk. You can get freshly made kind of ice cream and yogurts and things. There's fresh eggs. It's just essentially like a total organic farm. It's a lovely little place to visit. It's quite great. You can go there. I go there quite a lot, and I pick up ice cream. I eat far too much of their ice cream. It's kind of spoiled. It's spoiled all of their ice creams for me, basically. But this place is called Forest Farm, and if you're anywhere near Aberdeen or Aberdeenshire, you should definitely pay this place a visit. It's like I say, it's like a little shop. You just kind of go in with your mask and everything on. There's a sink in there, and you can kind of wash up, pick your stuff, and come back out. But yeah, it's definitely somewhere that I've visited quite a lot recently, because obviously you don't really meet other people. Like one household allowed in at a time, so it's you don't feel unsafe, I suppose, is the way of putting it. And it's somewhere that I've gone quite a lot during lockdown. It's a little lockdown discovery, I suppose. A friend of mine took me there, and now I can't stop going. So that's somewhere that I would recommend if you're near me, or if you're ever driving through Aberdeen or Aberdeenshire in the future. Definitely look up Forest Farm because it's a good place to visit. And then my last couple of favourites for the last few months are a little bit random. So one of them is a favourite that I found from Michelle B. I'll link her channel down below. So she's really into kind of organisation, kind of staff productivity, which definitely not one to chuck productivity in everyone's faces at the moment. They're probably sick of ways to be productive during lockdown, but she doesn't put it through in this way. I actually think it was something that she spoke about before all this kind of kicked off. I can't actually remember, but I'll link it down below. She uses this thing called Notion as like a life planner kind of thing, and it's this app you can download, or you can have it on your computer, and you can set up like to-do lists, grocery lists, embed your calendar, and plan out things you need to do over the months and things like that. I've been using this non-stop. I don't know how I functioned without having this in my life. She has templates to get you started, so you can kind of download like her template in, and then you can just alter it to tailor it to your own needs. And that's what I did, because it was, when I first got it was a bit overwhelming to like try and set up all these things. I was like, oh god, that's a lot you've got to make it work for you. But if you use her templates, then it's kind of mainly set up for you, and you can just tweak bits here and there, which I find really easy. So definitely check out Notion. If you're someone like me who forgets everything, and have to write down everything, it's so handy to have on your phone instead of just having notes app reminders and things like that. I can't fault it. I think it's brilliant. I think you can get it free for personal use. This is not sponsored or anything, obviously. But yeah, definitely give that a go if you're looking for a way of increasing your kind of organisation and stuff like that. I used to use a bullet journal, but my problem with that was I didn't really take it anywhere with me, so I had to learn things on the go and remember to write them down when I got home, and ended up being a thing that I wrote down in my bullet journal for things that had already happened, just for completeness, and it ended up being more of a chore than what it was meant to be for. I did get a lot of good benefits out of it, but now I get the benefits of that, but it's on my phone and it's so much more useful for what I needed to do. So that's a recommendation there, that definite favourite for this month. It's made things so much easier for me. And another favourite, my last favourite, a bit random, but these, just shut in the box here, this is sleep headphones. Now, if anyone struggles to go to sleep, or like me, has a boyfriend that snores like a trucker, it's so nice to have headphones to listen to stuff. So for a while I was using my kind of wireless headphones, but I'd always find out in the morning that one of them had popped out my ear, and I'd find it somewhere in the bed. Or, you know, if you have the corded ones, then you get all tangled up in the wire. This is great. This is a Bluetooth headband that has speakers in. So, oh, my one is covered in pet hair. That's not ideal. So yeah, it's just this headband, and you've got the controls at the front, like this. It's got a charger cable in the back. It's just, it fits like an Android sort of charger cable in there. And I wear this every night. The speakers are in here in the sides. They're just like little circular discs. I don't know if you can see the shape of them there. So they're really comfy if you sleep on your side like I do. Also fine if you sleep on your back or your front or anything, but they're really comfy. They don't hurt your ears when they're in. And yeah, I can fall asleep listening to a book or a YouTube video or some music, anything like that, and it blocks out his god-awful snoring, which is wonderful. Yeah, so I'll just pop it on. I'll probably be speaking a little bit louder now that I've got this on. So yeah, the speakers are sitting right here, right over my ears, and then you've got the bit at the top where your controls are. So you can use this obviously for exercise as well. They are marketed more for sleep, But oh wait, it does also say sports headband. So yes, so I use this every night. I absolutely love it. And to be honest, I sleep with an eye mask anyway. So although I can wear it like this, I often kind of just pull it down a little further. And I use it as a combo eye mask as well, because I like it to be totally dark while I'm sleeping. Oh, I'm probably looking a mess now. So yeah, I've probably got makeup all over the inside of that now. Anywho, I use this every night. Absolutely love it. I just got this from Amazon, and I think it was like 15 quid or 17 quid, something like that. I'll link it down below. Highly recommend, and definitely a favourite for the month. So that has all been all of my favourites and a couple of fails there thrown in. Overall, not a hell of a lot of fails going on, which is good. There's enough of a fail going on in just the state of the country at the minute. I suppose that's the biggest fail for recently, is how we're still stuck in all this situation, but what can you do? So I'm just sitting playing with this now. So yeah, that's my recent favourites and fails. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to check out any of the products I mentioned, they'll be linked down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a like if you did, and subscribe if you would like to see more of our content. Bye bye!